Hey, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you? Thanks for doing this, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
You must be pretty excited. A few days away from the big album release, hey?
Yeah, we're about to you sit with these songs for like years at some point, right? And but really they're made to be shared. So we're so interested to see. Well, it's interesting to think about like what songs connect with who. That's always the mystery. If you're lucky enough for them to find a home.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because one of the things I've enjoyed that you've done with some of these songs is show us kind of the behind the scenes of how
Mm.
the songs kind of came together. And like, I think it was for next summer. You started off by showing us the voice note in your phone a
Uh-huh.
year and a half ago or something, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
is that the process? Like, you hear something in your head, you write it down, you jot it down, and then it takes that long to kind of get the juices flowing a little bit.
Yeah, it's I mean everybody has a slightly different role to play within the band and sometimes there's overlap. But for me, just getting an idea going is my job. And I am so bad at technology. Like the extent of my um ability as like an engineer is like voice notes on iPhones. That's really all I can offer. But the beautiful thing about a voice note is sometimes it's enough, to get an idea going. And you can hum things. Actually, I remember reading something or hearing something about Michael Jackson being an amazing songwriter. And obviously, Michael Jackson and Jackson 5 have these timeless songs. But when they described him in the studio, he just kind of rap out the beats. He'd be like, "I want the beat to go boom, 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 boom," and then the horns could go do 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 do. And I'm like, well, that's great. And as long as you have a vision for it, that's an important part. so so for me, yeah, just starting with little nuggets of inspiration is sometimes enough.
Hmm. So when it comes to some of the collaborators you guys have on this album, there's a number of them. What are you looking for when it comes to adding voices to some of your songs?
I was By the time we're done recording, I'm often just so tired of my own voice. I'm not even like my voice that much to begin with. But by the end of the recording experience, I'm like, enough. And and sometimes I think like, oh, if a better singer sang on these songs, how much more would I enjoy them? And it's funny though, because I know some fans of artists don't like collabs because they're like, I know I want to just like listen to the artist. I just want to listen to the band. And I totally get that. And we're so appreciative of anybody that just like likes our band and my voice. But I think in on this record, when I think about like John from Portugal the Man, who sings on Money, it's like whipped cream. It's like, did you need the whipped cream? No, but did it make it that much tastier? Yes. And and I think that when it comes to Group Love and Portugal the Man and Poolside, that's how we felt about it. Like we felt really good about the songs and everything we had brought to that point, and there's a little icing on top.
Right. So do you know going like does it is it at the end of a recording that you're like, hey, you know what? Let's see if we can add somebody to this, or do you know kind of during the process? At what point do you know that you're like, you know what? I think I want to see if we can add somebody to this.
It depends on song to song. But I think there's some songs that are inspired by other musicians, and so you have their voices in your head to begin with. On this particular record, we wanted to. It's interesting. It's like you want to keep momentum up in the beginning process because I think that burst of initial inspiration is really important to capture. But then once you get that done, then I think it's important to be deliberate about how you finish it. So we recorded the record actually kind of quickly. It only took us 3 weeks to actually record it, but the prep took a year. Recording took 3 weeks, and then mixing and the conversations about guest vocals that ended up taking a little bit of time. So because you want to be able to finish it right.
Mhm. Cool. So now go back a little bit for the last few months. I don't know if there's been a band or an artist who has had more fun promoting an album that's coming up than you guys have, with just kind of these cool, unique ways of debuting new songs, right? You did
Mm,
your old friend's garage in
yeah.
Hamilton, the ice cream shop in Toronto, the hotel room in Niagara Falls. Like what made you kind of come up with these cool ideas to do this?
Well, a couple things. For us, going to shows when we were like just started the band when we were 19 years old those formative moments where you're in a small room with other music fans and you're seeing your favorite band play. We saw the Weakerthans play for 200 people. We saw Joel Plaskett. Saw the Constantines. We saw these great Canadian indie rock bands. And there's really nothing like that feeling and the way that it establishes a relationship between a song and the fan. And so we're like, let's go take over small places. I think small spaces are the best way to hear new music. I think sometimes trying to play a new song in front of a big audience like is unfair to the artist and the audience. It's like that's not what a big space is for. A big space is for a big sing along. But in a garage, you can kind of play whatever you want, and there'll probably be that direct line. Um, so I think for that's one reason. The other reason is um, you can always so this is gonna be our ninth record. We started the band like I met Mike and Nick like in 2004, and I think it's really important to show your fans that you want to be there because you can always tell the bands that are a little over it and that feel a little sleepy or they feel a little bit out of ideas and it's a little rinse and repeat. And for us, like the job is so precious and we take it really seriously that I think it's on us to imagine like what's the most exciting way for us to do this because if we're excited, then the audience is
Mhm.
excited.
And so that obviously leads into this little this tour that you're doing, where you're going to major cities, but playing in smaller venues, playing multiple nights in these places. How does that change how you like? I know you touched on it a little bit about just being able to showcase new music in a better way in those smaller venues, but like how does that change for you guys? What's different about playing these smaller venues for you guys than playing like a big theater size somewhere?
Yeah, I think everything we do is a reaction to the last thing that we did, and we're kind of realizing that with the last few records, when you put a tour on sale and you're just trying to sell as many possible tickets as you can, um, you have a duty to kind of play your hits, and we felt sort of guilty about the songs on these new records that never got a chance to shine. And all you want to do is give your little kids a chance to shine, and so we were so that was really the question that was offered to us. Like, how do we give these new songs a chance to shine? And then we're like, oh well, if we play in a small room, we can probably play more new stuff. If we play 3 nights in a city, then we can get to a lot of stuff in our catalog because we can change the set list from night to night. And also, touring can be exhausting, and when you have to get on a tour bus and get a bad sleep and you wake up in another town, it's a little disorienting. It always has been for us. But the idea of like waking up 3 mornings in a row in the same city and just being able to have a bit of a routine, everybody gets a better sleep, the crew's better rested. You can go to the same coffee shop in the morning. You can kind of feel like a local.
Mhm.
We're like, oh, that all those things like are check marks for us that we so yeah, we're like, let's just try to do that.
Does it take you back a little bit to like early days as a band before you were selling out theaters and arenas and stuff like that, and you were playing these small venues, right? Like, does it take you back a little bit?
Totally. We continue to play all kinds of venues, in Canada and Europe and in the States. So it doesn't feel like that distant from us. And also the thing that I don't know if the average fan might understand is that the feeling of being on stage isn't that different from playing an arena versus playing in a club. It's like you just want to be a good performer. You want to feel connected musically with your band. You want to be making a connection with the crowd. And I think like it doesn't matter if it's for 500 people or 5,000 people. It's just like those are the questions you're asking yourself. Like, do you feel like you're doing a good job? And so to us, it's all kind of in the same pot.
Does that kind of come into play a little bit when you're writing these songs? Because you guys are a band that like you love playing live, and you could tell
Hmm.
as they're up there on stage, right? Does that come into play a little bit about like when you're writing these songs, being like, oh, this is a song that we're gonna get into, and it's gonna be fun to play, in front of fans?
Totally. When it comes to the prep for this record, we've made records in lots of different ways. Um, with like Laundry Pile and Blink Once, Blink Twice, we kind of went into the studio with like a looser plan with the intention of kind of figuring out as we go. And we've had good results that way. There's some songs that we've had that like, Knocking at the Door or Quitting You that were sort of made and produced quickly. But with this record, we were thinking about like how we made the first few records, which is like, let's go in super prepared. Let's like rehearse the songs a lot. Let's really have a game plan for exactly what each song needs. So when we get to the studio, we can hit record. So because we rehearsed the songs that way, we kind of had a feel for like how it's going to feel live.
Mhm.
And we played a show last night, and it was awesome. And then the songs just felt really natural.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm really looking forward to this album coming out. Everything we've heard so far, we've loved. So,
Ah, thank you. Thanks for the
the
support.
only thing I'll say is, you skipped Winnipeg this time around. So next time you're coming here for a few nights.
Oh, you're always on our mind, and there's more to come. There's absolutely more to come.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this, Mac. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, appreciate you. Thank you so much.